You have to fight for your right to party.
How's it going, everyone? I
Hey.
am Frank Gavone,
I'm Doug Quimby.
and we are Kinda Live.
Kinda Livin.
This is the Mirth Films Podcast, episode 31. Thank you for tuning in. We got a lot in store to talk to you guys about. As always, you can listen to the Mirth Films Kinda Live, Kinda Livin podcast the day after we go live on our Spotify and iTunes account, which you can find right on your phone. So feel free to listen to it in the car, at work, and anytime you need to feel distracted. What's great about the Kinda Live, Kinda Livin podcast from here on out is that we will be doing it multicam live for you guys every single week. It's a new thing that we've implemented ever since we started doing live streaming with music. It's been a lot of fun, and just this week we got a lot to talk about here, and we took a week off. Again, we are live from Duffy's Tavern in the heart of Lake George Village, one of the greatest bars that you could ever ask for. Shamrock the Block. These guys provide a lot of fun for the locals of Lake George.
And they stay open all year
round. If you're
round.
here, you're visiting in Lake George Village, when you're not out going seeing live music and supporting the cause, come here because it's a good time. And but we got a lot to talk about. We took a week off, and
we did.
So originally, when we did the last podcast, episode 30, I came down with a horrible cold. It turned into a nasty sore throat when it just I ended up in the emergency room for 2 days, and I had to get a bunch of liquid drained from the back of my throat. I had problems breathing, and just trying to even drink liquids to cure my tonsillectomy that I had, and it just was a pain in the ass. And so I wanted to take a week off, just kind of figure things out, because what was in store for what was coming up, at least in my life at the time, I ended up helping out one of to me, the most inspirational guys in video scenes today, as far as just the jam band scene. The guy's named MK Devo. MK Devo has been putting out archives and just videos of just live music. You've probably seen one of his videos if you listen to the music that we listen to, and just a super inspiring guy. He got hired to do all the live video production for Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, their Halloween run called Stop Making Cake, which was insane, man.
Sounds like an insane show.
It was insane. We started off, so he ended up hiring me as a second shooter, which I was super thankful for. Dave, MK Devo, thank you so much for bringing me on tour with you. And so we started off the Pigeons Playing Ping Pong tour, sold out 3 nights. Night 1, Boston, Massachusetts, right across from Fenway Park, right in, just right at the House of Blues of Boston. It's about a 2,500 seat venue. The place is massive, and it was just a good time. Everything from just Andy Frasco opening up the show to Pigeons just playing their first sold out night. There was family there for the show. I got to go there, set up, start everything up. Just from the load in with Dave, we did 8-cam multicam video of both bands. And but I just want to check quick, just make sure that the stream is running fine.
Load up.
We should be doing good. We just want to check some technical stuff for you guys. But it was just a good time. I mean, anytime you get to see Andy Frasco and Pigeons on the same night is awesome. And so 8-cam, multicam. I was basically running camera in the pit the whole time, which was awesome. And but yeah, so just checking this.
So
we're good. Okay, yeah. Sorry, just a little worried. But yeah, it was nuts.
So, I mean, and with Andy Frasco, that is definitely just a high-energy man right there, high-energy band. And then I know with Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, with the last few years at ADK Fest, they always bring one hell of a show. So that just seems like you're going to be raging for at least 4 hours straight.
It was awesome. And just see the whole background end of things of just bands, like I said, bands loading in, just to the process of when everybody leaves the venue was nuts. We first started, just loaded in around 12 o'clock at this venue, and then slowly just got all the cameras set up. We had to run 200 feet of cable up 3 stories in this venue. It was a huge venue, and which makes me believe Pigeons Playing Ping Pong are they're the savior of this fucking jam scene. I don't know. I just really enjoyed the music and when Andy came on, basically in the jam scene, there's a Halloween gag for every single fucking show.
Oh, yeah.
And Andy's Halloween gag of the night was wrestling. So you had Shawn Eccles on guitar dressed up as American Warrior, I think his name.
Okay.
So, I forget the wrestler's name. You had Ernie Chang on saxophone. He was dressed up as Hulkamania. You had Macho Man Andy Frasco on the keys as always, and it was just sick. And so the Andy always does something nuts for each one of his shows. So this show, he decided with Gator of Pigeons Play Ping Pong, he's the drummer. They were gonna do a pillow fight on top of air mattresses, so they split the crowd in half at the venue.
Yeah.
They hopped onto air mattresses while the crowd was basically holding them up, and they were just beating the shit out of each other with the pillows. And so I'm sitting here, I'm in the photo pit, and so Andy, when he uses his mic, it's a wired mic, so the mic was getting caught up in a lot of the things in the front of the house. And so I'm basically talking to Shawn Eccles, the guitarist. He's like, yo, just feed these wires, man. I'm like, okay. So I'm feeding these wires to make sure Andy has enough slack to do his spiel while he's live.
While hitting the dude with a pillow.
Yeah, and then I forgot who won the pillow fight, but it was insane. And the crowd reaction from it was awesome. I don't know. If you've never seen Andy Frasco before, it's not like any other fucking band that you've seen. They're just wild. They break all the rules, and it's the most pure essence of rock and roll that you could watch, especially as an opening band. It's how do you top that? And it's just Pigeons not only topped it, they played phenomenal 2 nights. After we got done with the Boston show, drove back to Connecticut where MK Devo lives. To then go get a few hours of sleep to head to Times Square for the second sold-out show at the PlayStation Theater, and which was nuts too. And honestly, I really miss it because being on tour and being in that mindset of just load in, load out, you got downtime, make the best of what you have while you're in that same city that you're doing the work in. And so as with the downtime I had, after we got done setting up the PlayStation Theater, which is a gorgeous theater, it's shutting down actually at the end of the year.
Really?
Disco Biscuits are playing a 4-night run to close out the venue, New Year's run. So if you are going down to see see the Fish shows this New Year's, buy a late night ticket, go see the Disco Biscuits, and enjoy the venue for what it is while it's still there. And but the second night was awesome. It was honestly one of the best nights of music that I've seen in a long time. Just Pigeons just outperformed themselves the second night. It was incredible. And like I said, they were doing Stop Making Cake, which was a combination of their original tunes along with Cake, the band, and then also Talking Heads, Stop Making Sounds.
Perfect.
And it was just cool. What really hit me about this, being on tour for this, was as the doors open at 7:30 at PlayStation Theater, I was in line actually waiting to get your Andy Frasco t-shirt, and it hit 7:30, and then you just saw kids running into the venue to go get the Pigeons poster for that night. It was wow, totally that mindset of just being on the other side, and seeing that happen was dude, this is so fucking cool that this shit happens. Especially, with the progress that band has made over the years. Maybe 2013, Pigeons were playing small festivals, venues. First time I saw Pigeons playing ping pong was at the Putnam Place in 2016, and it was a great show, and honestly, you could tell that they were going to be big. Yeah. And, now they, I don't know, it's just, I think this fall tour is really going to make something for those guys. And it's just awesome. And like I said, the downtime was awesome. MK Devo, thank you so much for having us, having me help you. And also, just after that, Glass Pony released their brand new album, self-titled album. And so they hired us to do their multicam video at the Parish Public House, which is an awesome show. So stay tuned. And if you want to check out the review of how the show was, head to our website, mirth-films.com, where you can find all the latest just live music coverage, original video content, all the podcasts that we have from the Kind of Livin podcast. You can buy merch, which we got a lot of merch flowing in the house tonight. Thank you all who support Mirth Films. And Doug, thank you for doing this every single week. We're episode 31, and I don't cheers, and I will never learn to.
It's a
Other
problem.
than that,
It's an issue.
Got to watch this football game with my dad. Steelers, they beat the Indianapolis Colts. Adam Vinatieri, one of the greatest kickers of all time, choked when it mattered and gave us the game late in the fourth quarter. Put a smile on my dad Nick's face, I'll tell you that. It was a good night at Cavone residence. And but other than that, man, how was your weekend?
My week was pretty good. I mean, Halloween was definitely quite a night. My mom really tried to pull out all the stops, but I mean, I don't know how everybody else was.
Yeah.
But we got hit with a crazy storm on Halloween night.
Yes, we did.
So much rain.
I didn't know.
Wind.
I didn't, honestly, when I was in Boston when it happened. So what was it like with the rainstorm here in
It
upstate New York?
was like, you know how Hurricane, like Sandy and Hurricane Irene were? Like, just constant, like, torrential downfall and, like, 40, 50 mile an hour winds. Like, it wasn't to the extent of, like, a hurricane storm, but, like, it was around that area. And for, like, Halloween night, I mean, that's when, like, kids are going to be, like, out trick-or-treating. So that definitely just stifles people just going out. So, but, like, well, my mom was the best. She put together like these amazing gift bags where it's like, if you had any allergies, you could definitely eat at least one thing in this.
Yeah.
And if you had no allergies, you just hit the mother load because it was basically like 4 houses worth of candy in one bag.
Yeah, Doug basically put together care packages, not candy. Like, if you were in serious trouble and you needed
nutrients, you need to survive for a couple days, like this bag will get you through. This bag will get you through.
This bag will give you diabetes, pretty much, is what Doug's trying to say.
Yes, but we only had like three visitors, 3 trick-or-treaters, so unfortunately not handed out a lot of the candy, but you know, I give you a bag, give a lot of people at work bags of candy.
I pretty much ate the whole thing.
So delicious, like jam-packed full of stuff. So unfortunately that Halloween didn't work out well, but next Halloween we're hoping for the best. You know, it's been a crazy couple past Halloweens here. It's been just not so ideal with weather. It's been very cold or very rainy, so next year is gonna be a rager, and hopefully we get all the neighborhood kids hooked on our part of the village. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Stop eating that healthy food, kids.
Don't need it.
Need some yes.
Hearing it from the ghost mouth, man.
Absolutely. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to bypass the news. Sorry. Getting some guests on tonight early. So, you know what? Let's welcome on the one and only. Yes.
The 6th man.
The viewers are kind of low tonight. That's because the 6th man is in the house, Dylan McKenzie. Let's bring on Dylan McKenzie.
Dylan McKenzie, come on up.
So we got Dylan McKenzie here on tonight. Dylan, how you doing, man? How's it feel to be on this side of the podcast?
This is the first time I've been on the podcast. It feels weird.
Does it feel weird?
I usually am like the guy telling you your latency.
Exactly,
like just sitting in my room like 3-4 counts.
Yeah.
So recently, as the most recent time I've seen you, Dylan, we were out partying hard.
Yeah.
Over
in
in
our
Plattsburgh.
alumni days up in Plattsburgh.
Yep.
Did you have a good alumni weekend?
I did. I just saw a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. Got this, like, spent all with a Saturday talking to Matt Auten, who's now working down in New York City for Peloton. You know,
awesome.
He also saw him at his speaking event. He was talking to some students, and I actually came early to homecoming just to see him.
Oh, no way. Matt's always been a great individual. He does a lot for Plattsburgh, and he does a lot of awesome work.
He does. And like I said, when I'm down in New York City, hopefully in December I'll make my way down there. I'm trying to see him and Matt and any other New York City people on phone. I'm only there for like a little bit on a Saturday.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, B&H is closed, so I need something to do, you know.
100%. And now you were something that I got to see you and do, which I mean is one of the best things about being in Plattsburgh, is we actually made our way to the Monopole.
Yep.
Got our pitcher of beer.
Yep.
How was that? How was it going back to your old roots? Did you end up getting any stoner wings?
Unfortunately, no, because I've loaded up on poutine both nights.
Ooh.
I also
So where's the best place to get poutine in Plattsburgh, New York?
Man, it depends on like if you want like a restaurant experience. I'd say like Olive Ridley's is a good place.
Okay.
If you want like a good fast poutine, either the Sandwich Shop or let's see, Monopole started using cheese curds in their poutine, so they're pretty good. A Pizza Bono is where I usually go at last call.
For what? The poutine pizza?
Yeah. And the poutine, both.
Oh, they have poutine regular.
Yeah, they have regular poutine too, but I usually get the pizza because it's a little easier to eat and I don't have to carry it to the hotel or wherever I'm staying, you know.
Now, for the people local to the Adirondack area, upstate New York, where is the best place to get poutine?
Yeah. Adirondack, there's a lot of areas, and I mean, Glens Falls, I go to Downtown City Tavern for poutine.
Okay.
And like the Albany area, there's a few places that poutine too. Like my hometown, there's Center Street Pub. Yeah.
Awesome.
Poutine, man.
Poutine.
Not just potatoes with cheese, right?
It's French
potatoes,
fries,
cheese, and gravy.
French fries, gravy, cheese.
Think of the,
Trifecta
think of
of
the
the best
Warrior
food ever.
Bulldog from high school.
But instead of
No
mashed
chicken.
potatoes, oh. Well, I mean, chicken's so good.
It's so good, but Canadians didn't think of that. Okay.
Very true, very
French.
true.
Shout out to the French Canadians, for the poutine.
Canadians, man.
No,
So,
that's
okay,
these
so
right there.
for those who don't know, Dylan is an avid video and photo production nerd, man. I mean, we
Yep.
all are, right? And
Yeah.
something that me and Dylan have in similar is we're both Sony shooters. I
Yep.
want to talk to you about how you enjoy using the mirrorless system that Sony provides.
I mean, I love it. I mean, having a full frame camera is really nice. I'm able to use
You're upgrading from a 60D, right?
yeah, 60D.
So
Like
that's quite the fucking
that's like-
upgrade.
yeah, that's like
42 megapixels to what, 18?
it was 18 megapixels, right?
18,
Yeah.
which is not bad. So Canon's semi-pro line 70D, 60D, 80D,
Yeah, like the
which
middle
they now
line.
have the 90D.
Yeah.
Are decent cameras. If you're
Yeah, I mean,
looking,
the 80 and 90D are great for video production,
Yeah.
for starters in video production. Although I'm moving my way to professional camcorders now, just because it's meeting the demand, the demands I have for
100%.
my equipment, But I mean, the mirrorless is good for low light. It's good for interchangeable lenses, creative shots. But for like, let's say live streaming and stuff, I want to go pro camcorder, and like even just quick video production. The old school camcorders, especially the ones the news photographers are using, are where you want to go.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Most definitely.
In a professional video world,
Yeah.
Now, just to talk to you about, what are some of the things that inspire you to want to shoot, as far as like the type of stuff that you shoot? How do you stay busy, Dylan?
I haven't been shooting a lot of video or pictures recently because I've taken a year off to help my grandmother with my late grandfather's apartments. So
Okay.
I haven't been doing it as much.
So now you're a landlord too.
Yeah, well, property manager, property maintenance
That's
now.
not bad.
So
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I promised my grandfather anything happened to him or my grandmother, I'd help the other out, and that's what I've been doing for the past year. So my own brand company, MacDill Media, has kind of been on the back burner as I've been working on that with my family.
But you do. That's you're being a
Yep.
no man. You're being a great man, and no one can take
Family's
anything from
first.
That.
Yep, families first.
You need to take care of that.
Yeah. And now, what are some of the things that you are looking forward to, just with the seasonal change, that maybe you should recommend to some just photographers or just videographers out in the field with working in the winter?
We'll definitely bring a lot of batteries to the winter because the cold kills your batteries.
Absolutely.
And dress warm too. I mean, there's some days where you don't want an inch of skin showing. Because frostbite is a serious thing that can lead to lifetime consequences that you don't want to have.
Layer up, boys.
Layer up. Layer up.
And now I just want to cheers, man. Hopefully, we can make this work where we have you controlling the switcherboard and audio. Be cool.
Yep.
And now, so we can take a break quick. Just want to plug some stuff as I remember to drink my
Yes.
cheers.
Homecoming. I told you at
What the hell is
homecoming.
going on November 16th, Doug?
It's a gala.
What's a gala?
It's a gala. It's a trap. Dress up in your fanciest attire. Come get down to some big time kitty with us. It's gonna be a grand old fashioned time. Like, what more do you need besides fancy attire and funkadelic music?
Literally, what do you need?
I mean, besides beers, which we're
Big
gonna have
time
on
kitty.
tap.
That's what you need
Yeah.
because that's what it's going to be. Just $5. Make your way to It's a Gal at the Trap right in Fort Anne, New York, right outside of Lake George, New York. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Short drive.
And make sure if you are drinking and coming to our event, please have a safe ride.
Yes.
We want to
Yes,
make sure everybody gets home
please.
safe. We want it to be a fun event.
Please.
And
Taxis, Ubers, Lyfts, all options.
Yeah, designated driver. Why not? You know,
Designated
I'm
driver.
my parents are driving me, so you know, don't be afraid to ask the parents. Ask your a trusted friend. It's not worth drinking and driving. It's not worth it, people.
No, most definitely not.
Not worth it.
absolutely not. And Dylan, we just want to thank you for coming on, man.
Yep,
And
you're welcome.
thank you
Really
for
great
coming
to
up to
have
Lake
you.
George, New York. You're
Yep.
from Ravenna area, so I mean it's quick.
Yeah, well, no, Schenectady area.
I'm sorry. I don't know why you were that.
Some other person thinks I'm from Ravenna. I'm from the Schenectady area.
Okay. Fun fact: Dylan's not from Ravenna.
Who would
Schenectady.
have known? Who would've known?
Ravenna. I'd be dead exhausted if I came from Ravenna to here.
I can't imagine. I mean,
Well, you
for
know
your
what?
parents.
I got my designated driver. I promised my parents 1 drop of alcohol. I'm getting a designated driver, and that's what I'm doing.
No, that's a move. That's a responsible move.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
You know, even though I may be legal, nope. I'm getting my parents or any other trusted driver.
Oh yeah, man.
Like
And
one
now-
thing, if you love Canada, they'll ban you from the country on 1 DUI ticket.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
they don't
not-
mess around.
they don't mess around because
No, I mean-
they don't want felons in their country, and because DUI is an automatic felon, doesn't matter if it's a ticket or just a warning. They take it seriously.
So don't mess with the Canada.
Don't mess with the
Don't mess with
Canadians.
it.
No.
Not
Get your
worth it.
poutine here on stateside if you are happen to have a DUI. No,
Yeah. none of that Quebecois poutine.
Putin.
We got a lot of poutine.
As
by the
the
Canadian border.
Quebecois say.
It's a party with you. But yeah, it's Gala November 16th. And just I also want to give a huge shout out to Groove Safe. Groove Safe is about unwanted touching at live concerts. Just don't be a creep. Pretty much is the
keep your hands
motto.
to yourself.
Keep your
Yeah.
hands to yourself. Let the other people enjoy
Really.
the show, no matter what. If you're a male, female, it doesn't matter. But they actually tabled the second night of Dead and Company's fall tour at Madison Square Garden, and we happen to be lucky and do a video with Ashley of Groove Safe,
Oh, yeah?
which you can check out now on our YouTube or Facebook channel. Honestly, it's our most viewed video on all of
It
our
is.
outlets, and it really is a good cause. Please go check out Groove Safe. Follow Groove Safe Pics on Instagram, and but yeah, Dylan, we want to thank you again for being on the show, man.
You're welcome.
We're gonna get on our second guest here.
Okay.
Who do we got up, Dave?
We have Dave Edmond.
All right, let's go grab Dave.
Dave,
Dave. You're on.
you're up.
Yeah.
So Dave Edmond, he is the one who put together Adirondack Independent Music Festival and is also putting together Fins Up LG, which is coming in June.
Yes,
Sure.
it's coming in June. Yeah,
June.
June 19th through the 21st, right?
Fins up.
Fins Up.
So this
What's
is
up,
what
interwebs?
Woo! We got
See all
Dave
this nice
Edmond on the
equipment? I brought
podcast.
my drink over.
Dave, what do you got in your cup tonight?
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for coming on, man. And thank you for coming out, and thank you for supporting everything that we do. Everything from the from the low base of skateboarding to just especially everything that you do for this town that we all love. Dave, what's up,
so
man?
lying.
How have you been? How was Key West?
Key West was incredible. Let me tell you, them old folk.
What's
can
the
party.
Parrot Head scene like?
So the parrot heads are dope, man. They're just like
Really?
deadheads and fish heads. Parents.
Really?
Just like deadheads and fish heads. Well, fish heads parents. Deadheads and parrot heads are about the same now.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
those people can party. Let me tell you, they can party.
Oh, yeah.
Don't I have the perfect face for radio? Is this
You
live?
do.
Are we on the
You
interweb?
got the perfect
are.
face and perfect voice as well, Dave.
Yeah, my mom loves it anyway.
Absolutely, and just I guess we could just talk about get back early with some roots of just we were talking about last time I saw you. We were at the Garrison, and just where you were at your life, just like so. For a little background, Dave Stonemason.
Stonemason.
Does,
Yep.
That's what I do for money.
That's what he does for money.
That's what I do for money. Yeah.
Aside from bringing amazing acts and just supporting just the music scene that we all love,
Trying to do that for money, so buy
Improv
tickets.
Records. So like
Improv
the first
Records.
time I got to know you was definitely when I first heard Stone Revival Band and just going down to the concerts right by the lake on a Friday.
Oh, yeah,
Shepherd's Park.
but
So
This
from-
will be our 11th year, believe it or not.
11th year,
11th
really?
year, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Totally.
Now, how were you able to take that along with just some of the small festivals that were around Automation? What was the one at
Jungle Boogie.
Jungle Boogie.
That's a blur.
I bypassed the fish ticket to go there.
You did, and I caught you with the wristband.
You did catch me with the wristband, that's right. So,
Yeah, Frankie,
so
he was smart. He put an all-access wristband he found on.
how'd you go about like forming that and just like building up at least just the not, I wouldn't say a scene, but like getting everybody together to eventually what is now Adirondack Independence Music Festival?
It all started when I was a kid throwing parties on my mother's front lawn with one of them Spencer Gift red, yellow, green spotlights in the speaker.
Awesome.
At about 12.
Yeah.
I knew I'd like to throw a party someday. And then I played in a band for a really long time. Then I got a real job as a stonemason. And that demanded too much physical energy to be out till 4 a.m. and be at work at 6, although I did it for a really long time. So finally I did some stone work for the village, and the mayor offered me the Shepherd's Park on Friday nights for my band to play. He didn't know how bad I was at the drums. So I was like, you know what, I know some really good players from when I used to play, and that started Fridays at the Lake.
So what were some of the first bands that were playing Fridays at the Lake?
Capitals and Always, 3 times a year. We had Seriously a Lot. We had Stone Revival Band a few times a year. Vinny Amico has been coming up and sitting in, just like he does everywhere for 10 years. Who else? Who else have we? I mean, we had Formula 5.
You had Twiddle.
Wild Adriatic, Twiddle. We won't even talk about that. They couldn't sport mustaches back then. Now look at them.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Love those guys. You guys watching this?
I remember distinctly, like we were on another level.
Oh,
but,
most
like,
definitely.
But
like,
not to get too into it, but Allman Brothers were playing SPAC. The
Same night.
Twiddle was playing.
It always happens to me.
Playing
Fish ruins everything. They always show up in town when I'm having a festival. They didn't come since 1986, and they came the weekend of Jungle Boogie.
Oh
in
my God.
2011
Yeah, it was that Thursday.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
And yeah, no, so Twiddle ended up playing the same night as Allman Brothers in 2012.
Yeah.
And I remember you guys almost didn't even show up to Allman Brothers.
Yeah, no,
concert
we were
because
right
it was
at-
like this band Twiddle was played some big importance, which I definitely didn't understand at the time because
had no idea.
I wasn't at this point in my life. I was a huge Metallica fan. Did not understand the
They're
jam
playing
band
AIM
scene.
this year.
Metallica.
Slayer 2. You watch.
Oh yeah.
We did this interview already, didn't we? Where's Cal? We need Cal.
Yeah.
Sarah, where are you?
Yeah, no. So
I'm sober now, though. I wasn't for that one.
So what was it that you saw in Twiddle, especially to make them come back not only for that fall automation, but even transform to what they become, and at least the importance of Adirondack Fest?
It's just a spark, you know what I mean? It's like not everybody has a spark. When the lyrics kind of make the hairs on your neck stand up, everybody's going through stuff at some point in their life.
Absolutely.
And it sheds light on that. And it sheds light on, like, don't let it get you, just, I don't know, there's a lot of lyrics I could quote, but I can't remember it.
Absolutely.
But that's what they talk about, like, just getting over it and doing it, and they were young, and I saw a spark. And I wasn't able to get them back for a few years in between because they were growing so fast that I couldn't keep up monetarily with what they were getting. Yeah. And God bless them, but I couldn't do it until I had a big enough following where we could do it, at a bigger venue. It was great. I mean, Automation was great. They did a set there. They headlined Jungle Boogie. They also did a show which is Capital Zen. You remember that show?
Yeah, that
And
was
it was winter.
crazy. That was a
End of the world
It was a
party.
Halloween show.
Well, that was Max
yeah.
Creek too. We did a Max Creek Halloween show. We did Max Creek like 3 times. That was crazy too.
Yes, End of the World.
Was
that
it the
was
End
the
of the
night
World
that
party?
Lucid showed up at fucking 3 in the morning.
Yeah, Lucid was playing in Albany, and I made a little bit of money on this show, first time ever, and it was less than $200. But I was like, hey, Lucid's on their way back from Albany. I hit up Lowell, and I'm like, dude, you guys just got to come play. Like, they showed up like 3:30 in the morning, set up, and played till like 6:30.
Awesome.
It was great. It was totally great. That's how you get a following. You just do it.
So
You know?
okay, with the formula that Twiddle has followed, and there's more than just a band. You got to thank people like Kevin Rondo who like are able to
K-Ron.
just schedule and just have somebody in that place for that band.
Yeah.
To go forward.
Their whole team, though, Dan Travis has been like living in their whole realm the whole time. You know, Kevin, if you like post something on Facebook, somehow he knows it and he sends you a heart. I don't know how he does that because he does it to thousands of people every day. I don't know how you're not blind, Kevin. You know,
Blinder. How do you keep your stress up?
Yeah, no, their team. It's the peak team.
So it's more than just the music.
It's more than music, but I mean the music is what everybody's hooked.
Yeah.
You know, that's what grabs everybody. But I mean, without a team like Kevin and Dan, Kyle that keeps all Mickey's guitars, you know.
He's a guitar tech?
He's a guitar tech. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And now, just for I don't know. At least when I figured out after college, learning just from some of the people in the scene of just how things are and just and just working a little bit, getting a better understanding. I found 80K Fest to be something very important in my life, and I want to know how, because at least to me, 2016, you guys had Spin Doctors.
Yeah.
You had Formula 5. You had
Yeah.
Rich Ortiz.
Yeah.
I can't remember. And maybe Kung Fu was there?
Kung Fu's
And they've
either
come
that year or the year before. We also had Fabulous Thunderbirds and Robert Randolph same year as the Spin Doctors.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now,
and that was the year before Twiddle came back.
Now, would you say from 2016 to 2017 there was a little jump?
From 2016, I took over the booking and went back to my roots.
Now, was
You know,
that Labor Day weekend as well?
So yeah, the first one, which we did in 2015,
Okay.
was actually, it's why it's called the Adirondack Independence Fest, because we did it 4th of July weekend. But we did it with some casino acts that were really good, but it wasn't going to be my vision, and it turned out to flop. And at that point I stepped in and said, listen, I have a lot of bands that I think people will come see. And I had a lot of them. Most of my bands had always played the Fridays at the Lake. You know, I had the Funky Dogs. We've had
brass
Sophistiphone.
band, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think we had Haley Jane at one point. And we brought all those bands back into the rotation. But I think the biggest thing was when I got Twiddle back to Lake George. Because when I did Twiddle in Lake George in, what was it, 2012 you said?
Yeah.
So when I did them the first time, it was either 2011, 2012, you guys were only how old?
I was.
Let's lay it out.
I think I was like 15, 16.
And
at
there
the
were a
time.
lot of you, right? So it kind of hooked you guys, and you're like, whoa, they're coming back. And now
It's
they're
like, oh
huge.
yeah, all these older kids like this, and I at this point maybe 2012 I've seen my first few Fish shows, and it was like I read the fucking book, like they say, and I'm really happy I did because you know what, the family that 80K Fest provides is
And that's one thing I
there's
would.
a sense of pride. I'm sorry, no, I just want to say there's a sense of pride because when you go to when I'll see you at this past year Strange Creek, which to me Strange Creek Wormtown
Awesome.
Trading Company is doing it right. Those
Yeah,
guys are the
absolutely.
fucking best. The
Hats
best.
off, Mark.
Kaylin, go to Strange Creek next year. But seriously, it's one of the best festivals I've
Frank,
ever
you
been
got
to.
your photo pass.
Yes.
Look good, that's all.
But yeah, it just was cool to compare that to what we do at 80K Fest because it's kind of all the same family, but this is how we get to make our family in Lake George, we get to share it with everybody else that go to all of that same stuff. But this is our town.
Yeah.
We get to really give them that feel of how we vibe, you know.
And what really makes it special is the family, but besides that is the location and the fact that there's so many campgrounds and hotel rooms within walking distance, you know, that it just makes it awesome. I mean, you can. If you don't have to come into the venue at 11. You can go out on a boat cruise and see all of Lake George for a couple hours and come back. Re-entry, come and go as you want. Go out and drink all your beers out there if you don't want to buy them. I don't care.
Yeah.
Do what you want. It's and that makes it special.
You get to
most
come and
definitely.
go. Yeah. You're right on Charles Arwood Festival Commons.
And the second you walk into Charles Arwood Park, you are literally into another world.
Right,
Like
it's weird.
you've
Yes.
really set it up in such a way where like you are out of Lake George and you're at just any other festival that you would be at, whether you would travel to, especially because like in this area we don't really have anything that big in this area, so you have to like travel like an hour or 2 hours to go to something like that. So having something that special and that big just in our hometown is really magical, I would say.
It really is.
Yeah, and that's again something I pulled from the 2017 festival was like at that point I've experienced enough in like seeing live music where I could say honestly like being in that realm in that space was definitely like being on tour or just being not away from home.
Sure.
But literally right in home.
Right, yeah.
Being able to go home. The first
I saw
being
you
able to go
behind
home.
your back for your mother. Like, shit, where's my mom?
I was like, anytime, this past time, anytime. I love your mom, but anytime I'd like walk back to my tent, like where all the media guys were, I was like, and I saw her, I was like, I'm gonna go work a little bit more. But yeah, no, it was just cool. It was like having the, like how, like you said, like hearing Twiddle, the hair stand up on your neck when you hear the songwriting, it was like, wow. Everything that I go and travel and go do, it's right here in my hometown. The circus is in the town.
Circus
right
is
here
in town. And you know, for our little festival, for people to come up that go to all these shows all over the place and say it's absolutely the best time they have all year, that means something because these people go to Peach, they go to Mountain Jam, they go to these huge festivals.
Yeah.
You know, and our little spot, this awesome spot, and to have somebody come up and so many people come up and say that it's like the best time they ever had. It's like, you gotta really be like...
You gotta get cheese.
I mean, I'm humble, and after a while I can't stand it, and I just kind of thank you. You know, because it's tough to hear that all weekend long. I'm humble about it, you know.
You deserve it, though, Dave. You bring so much
we deserve
happiness.
It. There's not me. It's we. We deserve to have that.
I fucking love you, man. Yeah.
Man.
And like,
Cheers.
just like, yeah, cheers. And just like the whole, I don't know. It's like, and it's
Hey,
not
J-Mo,
even...
Frankie's buying around.
and even just
Who's our sponsors?
ADK
80K Fest is our sponsor.
80K Fest fins up
80K is buying
LG
around.
June 19th through 21st. And before we hop right into that,
That's
it's
for
just
fins.
it's not even
That's the fins up.
it's not even the people attending the festival because it seems like every year, especially from like 2018 up, like the artists are like love being there.
They love being there. 2 years. I mean, I'm not supposed to really say it, but Keller contacted us because he heard it was awesome and wanted to play. Same thing with G-Love this year.
Really?
I mean, yeah. You know?
And G-Love was a great act to have.
Oh, yeah.
G-Love was
Especially with the
I
time
wanted to go
slot
on
that he
tour.
had.
I wanted to go on tour with G-Love after that. You know, my wifey really dug G-Love, so I was
No,
like,
and the way he
wanna go see some more
commanded,
shows?
and the way he commanded the crowd and was like in control of it was just like something very special that I would say not most other bands really have.
Especially like the old school hip hop mix up and like right in the middle of the set. Like that was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Now I gotta ask you, just in your shoes, because you're the one like on the command and like and just we answer to you, man. What are like the top 3 things that you love the most about the festival overall? It doesn't have to be 3, but like what makes
2
you
weeks
like
before and a month after. Everything in between is a blur. I can't wait for it to happen, and I'm sure glad it's over.
And that's where we've even talked about like you have an awesome team behind you
Yeah, it's all the team.
at every level, from the volunteer side, just people just being at the gates.
Yeah.
How does that feel to feel like okay, these people will like take
It's
a bullet for
huge relief. Yeah, I had, you know, we started our crew. Our crew hasn't worked major festivals, you know, and I have a few people in a few positions that work major festivals.
Okay.
And the first year they're like, yo, you know, let's tighten it up back here. Talking about backstage, and there's a lot of people back here. And they're like, you know, your guys aren't doing, you know, the way it's done. I was like, well, the way it's done is the way I say, I guess, right?
Very true, very
You know, I
true.
don't know how you do it over there, but this is how I do it here. And they've learned to this past year, those same people saying, you know what, I get it now. Any one of these people would step in front of a bus for you, and that's why they're your crew. I said, now you understand.
Hell yeah. And I want to give a big shout out to Nicole Chapin, because something that I definitely dug, which was to me like this is shit like this is awesome. Is that she even like she had no reason to have to make a spreadsheet to like schedule or like put everything on paper, but she literally like had like a whole plan on a clipboard.
Oh yeah, she has.
And I'm sure you didn't even ask her. And you know, shit like that when you're not asked to do something and you're doing that, going above and beyond.
Yeah.
You're doing something positive that's helping out the cause, which is making it just a little bit easier for everybody else.
It made it so
And
much
especially when you
easier.
have like a shit ton of people. You have bands coming in from like 11 a.m. to like 5, loading in, loading out, leaving.
Constantly.
Michael Deary, Joel, I can't tell
Michael
how many
Deary,
people,
Jack
Tommy
Kenny.
Charles, Jack, yeah.
I mean, you're talking about Rich and Dirty.
Rich,
you know,
oh my God, Rich, man.
Rich year round, he's like, getting the people together. And I was like, that's perfect. Now we need somebody to organize it all. And that's when Nicole stepped in. And the thing that Nicole doesn't know is she's getting like a triple bonus, going to have to do 3 times the work next year. Because I'll teach you a construction trick. When you get hired as a laborer or whatever to go to construction, and they send you for coffee for 20 people, you make sure you screw it up so they never ask you to do it again.
Wow.
Because going to get coffee for 20 people twice a day sucks, right?
That sounds it.
But Nicole
Don't
stepped up and made
overachieve,
the
you're
best
saying.
coffee that we ever had. So now she's going to have to do all kinds of tricks.
Oh my God.
So you got that to look forward
Sorry,
to.
Nicole.
You're too good.
But Jared Hartstone, we can't forget Jared, who
No,
actually does
absolutely.
all the booking now. Puts together like 100 different scenarios of who we could have.
Yep.
To figure out what's the best one for our fest. And I always tell them, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, we tend to, if you look at our posters year after year, it's pretty much the same artists that we rotate. We've had the same headliners for a few years now, and maybe we'll just add one more day so we don't have to change anything. I really can't say because we haven't made any offers. We don't know if anybody wants to come back. Who knows if they had a good time or not.
I mean, when you have somebody whose one mission in life was to throw parties starting on their parents' lawn, to grow it to 2,000 people.
4,400.
2,400.
4,400 this year.
40.
Over 2 days. Yeah, over 2 days. Yeah, I don't think we're supposed
Solid.
to tell people.
I gotta
don't know.
say,
I don't care
Whatever.
about that either. I
that
know.
pigeon set was fucking.
That
2
pigeon
sets
set
was
was
amazing.
Crazy.
After seeing them this past weekend, MK Devo brought me on tour to do the Stop Making Cake. Then we did video production for the 2 shows, and it was honestly some of the most mind-blowing honestly, probably one of the best shows I've seen all year was Pigeon's second night at the PlayStation Theater, sold out. Like, how does that? Okay, how do you look at things? At least in the sense, sometimes generation changes, especially in the jam scene.
Sure.
You have you got your Fish Dead, tier 1, but then you got Disco Biscuits, Mo, you got Widespread Panic, bands like that. Maybe they're in their 50s now, right? And then you got bands like Twiddle Pigeons. Fucking Aqueous is on the rise, which I just want to say thank you for bringing Aqueous to Hudson Falls, New York at the Temple in late 2012.
That was a pretty
opening
dope
up
spot
for
for
Capitals
a totally
Inn.
rundown spot.
We've
That
had
was-
some good first experiences.
The
at
temple
the
is a
Temple.
great spot.
That place
I'm not
is
sure I can
nuts.
take credit for that though. I think that was more Capitals.
That was a Zen thing.
Yeah.
Now, okay, with that
Yeah, I'll
Buffalo
never
love,
take credit
like-
where it's not due, but I helped. I definitely helped somehow.
So, seeing that generation change, how do you feel the jam scene is overall with these new bands coming in?
I mean, I think the new bands coming in are the ones that keep the old bands going.
You think
the
so?
older bands, yeah. And I don't know. You can't really classify Mo. They're like in between the older and the younger.
Yeah.
Because they're still as strong as they ever were, in my opinion. You
Yeah.
know, and they're still on my list, and I'll keep trying.
100%. We'll
say.
keep hoping. Keep hoping. Awesome,
I'm
dude.
nothing
all
if
we can
not
do.
persistent.
Now,
Oh,
before
yeah.
we switch guests,
Yeah.
we just want to ask, what's up with Fins Up LG June 19th, 21st, Charles Darwin Park?
I mean, 3 days at 2 stages. I mean, we only do 2 days at the Adirondack, 2 stages. I got to do this for 3 days.
Oh man.
So all those bands are the the TR, the Trop Rock Music Award winners. So they're it's the A-list of the who's who of that whole scene. And when I got approached to do this festival, the first thing I did was reach out. I did a little research online, and then I reached out to all the top people in the thing, because I'm like, well, if we're going to do this, we have to have the who's who, because nobody really knows anything about this. So the only way we're going to attract the parrot heads from the parrot head clubs is to have all the people that they're familiar with and be like, you know what, you got to come to Lake George because we throw an awesome party.
Oh, yeah.
Now let me tell you, the party I just went to in Key West, that was at a huge resort right on the ocean. So it's going to be hard for us to compete with that, but we throw a hell of a party too. So I'm excited. And so many people already knew about it.
Really?
They already knew about it. Yeah.
And this is a party with a purpose event. All $10 from each ticket go to the St. Jude's Research Hospital.
And I mean, if we
great.
the whole thing is if we make money, we'll probably give more. But my whole thing to the partners was don't overpromise and underdeliver. Underpromise and overdeliver. Did I say that right?
No, that
anyway,
makes sense.
Don't ever say you're going to give more than you know that you can. So
Okay.
we know we can give them at least $10 a ticket. And if we make money, maybe they'll give them all of it. That's up to them.
Absolutely.
But they have my vote, whatever they want to do. You
That's
guys have
amazing.
my vote. Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
And now,
Keep
just
up the good work. Watch
I gotta ask,
Watch
what-
for Mirth Films. They're going to be actually making films really soon. The casting couch is over there. This girl was talking about fake taxis. I don't know what that meant. But she wants to get up here and explain it. But I don't know. Now she's all shy, drinking vodka, water, no bubble.
So okay, before we switch guests,
Yeah.
I just want to ask one thing.
Yeah.
Who are you going to see live the next few months up until New Year's?
Oh, you put me right on the spot. Well, I mean, if I could go to all these shows, I'd be going to all the Twiddle shows at the Cap. I'd be going to all the Twiddle shows. I'd be going to the one, Boston. and New
House
Year's
Blues,
Eve.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really good with getting out to go spots because of my day job, cutting rocks all day. And anytime Pidgeys come around, I would have been at Turquoise, but I was in Key West. I would have been at Mahali. I was in Key West. Am I missing anything? What else? Oh, I'm going to see.
Oh, that's
Big
right.
time.
It's a gala.
It's a gala.
Can't wait.
So Dave,
It's a
this
gala.
is our first
Do
event.
I have to get dressed up and stuff?
Yes, it's a
We would like you
party.
to.
Bring your wife.
What do I gotta wear?
Dress up,
Well, I'm
shirt.
suiting up, man.
Yeah,
So,
we're
I mean,
suiting up.
November 16th.
Weddings
it's a gala
and
at the
funerals.
Trap. Have you been to the Trap yet?
I have
More
not.
weddings.
And it's right down the street
It's
from my
literally
house.
right. You're right.
Literally.
This guy lives on
walking
140.
distance. Yep.
This guy lives
Let's not
somewhere.
tell anybody where I live. But I mean, Google me.
104
It comes
he lives
right
on
up. There's
148
no
and a
no
half.
secrets anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's honestly one of the most chill, relaxed bars.
Really is.
In the area. We got the idea from the party to throw for two reasons. One, Lucas's birthday. He had a birthday party there, and it was just a great time. All the homies, LG homies, were there. It was a great turnout. And
I didn't get invited to LG homies.
And then and then our second reason was back in the day, our legendary
Frankie
friend.
says back in the day.
Like 4 or 5 years ago.
back in the automation days, my buddy Connor McLeod, he threw this awesome party that was a formal party. We all got dressed up. It was a fancy party. We all got decked
Like
out.
suits,
With just our friends. We had
dresses,
like 15
all
of
that.
us. Everybody dressed up, and it was cool because we're all on the same ball. We're all dressed up, getting hella fucked up,
have
and
to get my
it was
shoes
just a
shined?
good time. Shoes were shined. That's it.
Wax on,
But
wax
November
off.
16th, it's the place to be.
It's a gala.
Kind of live, kind of living podcast.
Meow meow.
And Big Time Kitty, yeah, duo. Bring your
Can't
mac
beat
and
it.
cheese. So we're gonna bring on our next guest.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Dave, for
I've
coming
taken
on.
up
Dave,
It's
man,
been
too much of
your
amazing.
No, honestly,
To the moon with you guys. Love you to death.
take all the time, Dave, man.
Man.
Cheers, interwebs.
Have a great night.
So
So next up we have Jamie, who I believe is a fan of the podcast.
what's up, Jamie?
How's it going, Jamie?
Thanks for having me, guys.
What's going
Hey,
on?
cool.
Sit
It's
down.
pretty cool.
Sit on down.
Yeah, welcome to the Kind of Life, Kind of Living podcast, man.
Yeah, it is.
So you're good buddies with Caleb, huh?
yeah. And over the years. and
You're a
stuff,
North Creek guy?
Well, Northmore, North Creek, Brant
Okay.
Lake, Loon Lake. It's
What's
all
the
the
difference?
fucking same. It's all the fucking same. That's what I said. I moved
that,
to Florida.
Robert?
I tell people where I'm from, like our Albany, like Lake George. Like hit or miss. with
Upstate
that,
New York,
but-
yeah.
Yeah.
So what? I gotta ask.
I'm curious. How did you hear about
I'll be
Kinda
right
Life,
back,
Kinda
guys.
Livin'?
Have you guys heard of Facebook?
Yeah.
That's what did it.
Okay, cool.
Good old
Awesome.
Facebook. Nice old Facebook invite, and I was like, I got nothing to do. I'm free tonight. I'll check it out.
Dude, there you go.
Here I am.
Glad you're fucking here. So, I mean, obviously you heard about this. But so,
Yep. I've heard of you guys. Been friends with Frank on Facebook for a little bit. Can't recall how long. But just
Facebook
ended
is
up
always fuzzy because
It
you
is fuzzy,
always
yeah.
add people that you don't really know.
Right. Yeah.
But like, if you have enough mutual friends, it's like, oh, I must know.
yeah.
I must know.
Yeah.
And,
just
especially
throughout shenanigans and passing bys and whatnot.
Most definitely,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like I definitely remember at least always going up to the North Creek in Chestertown.
Right. Yeah.
Every time I went up there, we're definitely going to party.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel like I met a whole bunch of people, but like I didn't really remember
Hazy
a whole
moments and nights. Yeah.
You know how
yeah.
those signature party
For
nights.
shizzle.
So what kind of music are you into? I'm curious about.
I kind of get my feet wet with a lot of different stuff.
Okay.
I've seen a couple metal shows actually this year. Same night that Jam Band show was going on Lake George, I was at Adventure Time Racing. I caught Beast's new album release or whatever the heck it was. Random invite to that.
Yeah.
It's heavy metal, fucking headbanger show. First time at that, I was like, I guess
Why
I'll
not?
check it out. I've dabbled in that for like 5 off.
That's
years
cool,
or whatever.
man.
But that's hella fun. Got a roundhouse kick to the head and bought that band's T-shirt. And they're from Florida too. And I was like, oh shit, I used to live there. Locust with Liars. There, whatever. But that was mad cool. Yeah, first concussion.
Really?
Yeah, roundhouse.
What
kick
was
to
it
the
like
head.
having a concussion?
I was a few beers deep, so it was not good. Not good for the health,
Not good.
but good for the fun times.
Oh hell
That's
yeah.
about it.
Hell- So that sounds like it was kind of a mosh pit situation.
A wee bit.
'Cause
Yeah.
I mean,
A lot of people
I've
were a little
never.
self-conscious to get into it. There's like some kind of meatheads, like
Okay.
kind of doing all sorts of whatever Bruce Lee moves, whipping around. But I got in it. I was like, whatever, I'll go for it. But yeah,
But,
that's fun.
you gotta do what you can.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You gotta go hard.
Other bands saw Slightly Stupid this year. First time ever.
was
Loved
that?
them. Woo! Let me tell you, I went out to Utica at a Saranac Brewery.
Yeah.
Irie was there. They played for them. Tribal Seeds, they didn't make it. There was like a storm in New Jersey prior to that, their last show, and all their equipment got wrecked. So, yeah, I was like 9 beers deep, and then, Slightly Stupid comes on. I was like, oh, I'll light my doobie. Light it up, it's like, man, I gotta take a shit. You know what I do? I go to the porta potty, take the best, meanest one I could take, fall asleep. 2 songs deep with Slightly Stupid. Wanted to see him since I was like 14 years old. And like, wake up, it's dark out, bands are gone, everyone's gone. I step out,
Where were
security-
you when you wake up?
in the porta potty, still taking a shit. I was like, I waited
You're
10 plus
fucking
years to
kidding
see
me.
this band, and I fall asleep half a
porta
doobie
potty.
in.
Oh
Just
man.
'cause too many beers deep. There's
gets to
Saranac's pineapple hemp brew.
Ooh, that
Dangerously
sounds
delicious. I
Sounds
recommend
Sounds
it.
like it. So it's like a dual-wielded sword, man. And
Yeah.
it does.
I'm drinking
That does.
smoke before
I mean,
Slightly
and that's
Stupid.
normally how it happens. You finally get
You
that
can't
show you
mix it.
want. You get feeling a little too good, and then the sleep comes up on you.
It creeped on me. I was
That's
like,
right.
"Whew." Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's cool, man. So are you gonna make your way to the it's a gala?
I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to. Been watching, Jeff and Dalton play since I don't even know when.
So
but
how'd
for a
you get
couple
to know
years
those
now.
guys?
Going to North Warren. We're all North Warren kids. 20 minutes north of Lake George.
So those guys were North Warren.
Yep.
How old are you?
26 now.
Okay.
Oh, you're my age. Okay. So
yeah.
you know Lemelson?
Oh yeah. No,
So
I
what
remember back
is
in the
your
day
honest?
partying.
What is your honest opinion? Honest. On Caleb Lewis.
Oh, that's a
all
loaded
love.
question.
'Cause he's, you know why? Because he's himself. He's just, a feather in the wind. He's just blowing whatever direction he wants to go too. He's telling wind what's up. He's not in the wind.
He
If
is
that
the wind.
sounds if that sounds heartfelt enough, I hope it to be. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love Caleb. Always
The man.
Always full laughs. Oh, just kills me. I haven't
Nice.
seen him. in a
No,
bit.
that and you
Hey,
know.
Caleb.
What's up, Caleb?
See, that's the thing with
Caleb's
Caleb.
working hard. That kid
Is
is
he?
fucking turned his life around.
He really has.
Honestly, yeah. Like
Haven't we
I'm
all though in
super
our
proud.
own little aspects?
You
We've
need
all
to.
been
You
there.
know, I think you know you
people
want
are
over-
getting grown. We're pulling up our pants. We're like putting our shirts down.
No
you know,
more
we're wearing
Pampers.
jackets.
Jacket.
You know?
It's warm now. It's
Dress
like
him
fuck
layer
getting
ring
cold, so
up.
we can't call off of work.
And you know what's crazy is up here in upstate New York, we're just looking at our stupid cell phones and they're
It's
saying
supposed to
that
snow
it's
tomorrow.
We're
snow
all
tomorrow.
guilty of it though. We can't dismiss it. But
But
it's,
yeah, snow. Snow's
Snow.
coming.
It's coming.
Winter
It's
is
fall.
it's
coming.
always
It's here.
coming. It's always
It's
coming.
just weird. I don't know. Maybe it's with getting older. It's like shit just flies by
You know-
faster. So you think it's always summer.
It definitely
Yes.
does. And daylight savings time does not help.
I mean, what
Honestly,
you mean? No, I got an hour
I took-
a few nights, man.
I took 2
got a
naps
good
in one
story about
day,
daylight
and I was
savings.
like, I'm caught up on like 3 weeks of sleep already, and
Nah.
I'm not even done with the day. I've got like 2 hours left in the day. It's like, what am I gonna do now? Like,
You,
it's
you
just-
got to backtrack
daylight
on that.
You know what
sleep
you
again.
can do though? You want to know what you can do? You can go ahead to our Instagram, Spotify or iTunes, and go check out the Kind of Live, Kind of Living podcast. All of our archives. We got
We have-
31 episodes now.
Yeah.
So, in this cold winter months, if you haven't watched the podcast, go check it out.
Go
right?
check it out. We
And-
also have live shows, full live shows on our YouTube page and our website. You
Yeah.
know, like I think we have like over 150 videos on our YouTube page.
Yeah, go
you
check
can
it out.
definitely,
Yeah.
You can definitely spend some time there if you're willing.
Give a like.
Give a
like,
like.
a subscribe,
thumb.
you
I
know,
did a
maybe
check.
rate
Just
It's
us.
a thumb, not,
You
not
know.
a check. Thumb.
And now, did you just come out here to drink tonight, or?
yeah, basically.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, what brought me out though is you guys like doing like a nice like community like just get together thing, like a proactive thing of like, you know, getting inside people's heads and like just like, you know, just opening up. That shit's dope, and we need more of that these days. You know,
Yes, we
we're in
do.
such an open era of like social medias and whatnot.
Most
Like, you know,
definitely.
we throw ourselves out there in memes nowadays, but like we also got to get down to like the more of you know,
The personal basis.
personal basis, yeah, and freestyle. Just send it like I'm doing now. The fuck am I doing?
This is not planned.
Yeah, I know. But we just want to say thank you for coming on, man. And
Thank you
seriously,
for
just
inviting
like,
me.
really
This is
fun.
just
cool.
like if you can come out to the It's a Gala.
It's a gala.
I'm telling you, man.
Next Saturday,
Yeah, it's
November
gonna-
16th.
Yeah, next
love to.
Saturday. And if you got nothing going on November 9th and 10th, the Summit
No, I
Music
think it's
Festival.
8th and 9th.
8th and 9th.
8th and
You're
9th.
so right.
Summit. What is it, Queensberry Hotel?
Queensberry, hosted by Wild Adriatic. They're gonna have a fucking awesome lineup. Both nights, music going super late. You're gonna have Annie in the Water. You're gonna have Wild Adriatic, the fucking freak himself, Andy Frasco, and the UN. You got Chestnut Grove. You got who else is playing? Let's Be Leonard's
Let's
playing.
be Leonard. Annie in the Water?
And Paradisa. There's a whole bunch of bands. Go check it out. The event's on Facebook, and I'm sure you can find it on Wild Adriatic's website. But if you're looking for the schedule of just shows, just the lineup for the next 2 nights, head to our website, mirth-films.com, where you can find all the latest live music coverage, original video content. You want to buy merch like this motherfucker's
Hats,
wearing.
T-shirts. We got hoodies, as you saw Dylan McKenzie wearing earlier.
Yes.
You're wearing a camo. I don't know why I'm
Swear
pointing
my
to you.
shit, yeah.
Hell yeah. Spec your own shit.
Special $12.
Exactly, man.
I believe.
You need it.
It sounded
You need
nice enough to get.
And dude,
Solid.
we just want to thank you
Keeps you
again for
warm.
coming
Oh,
on.
thank
and,
you
know,
guys.
Thank you for meeting me, Jamie. Oh, no worries.
Knocking tack over, sorry.
It's okay, you
happens.
know what? We've shot some of these kind of live, kind of living podcasts. I've had the
Spilling beers.
I spill beers on our guests.
Yeah,
I can flip this table if you want.
Honestly, you know
We
what?
literally spilled like a whole cup of black iced coffee on 2 of our guests.
On Luke Dow, maybe?
Luke Dow and Greg Merrick of Formula 5 and from Light Just Steamboats. Like 5-10 minutes before we were supposed to go live.
Hooey. That's some. At least there's no sugar, right? It was black, right? So it's like, yeah, no,
No.
sticky at least, right?
Yeah, no, not
ants.
as,
No
but my
ants.
towel is still stained of. It's just black. No worries though, because I've washed it like 8 times. It's clean.
Right.
Stains, they be there.
Thank you, man. Thank you for
yeah,
coming
thank
on,
you.
man.
Much pleasure, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you
And
for
you're welcome
coming
back
on.
anytime. We'll see you in 2 weeks, November 16th at
November 16th.
It's a Gala.
It's a gala. It's a trap. I'm gonna bring in our next guest while I go to the bathroom and do that. So shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah.
Yeah, so we got another guest coming on. It is a contributor of Mirth Films. We're very excited to have her on. Caitlin McCann, how you doing? Welcome onto the Kind of Life, Kind of Living podcast. How does it feel to be on the other side?
It's a freaking blast.
Awesome. And now you're coming off a birthday weekend, and you got to see some live music. Where'd you go?
I went to the House of Blues in Boston. I celebrated my 21st birthday. It was absolutely excellent. What can I say? Now I'm here at Duffy's Tavern in Lake George having a beer because it was
Cheers.
my 21st
Thank you for
birthday.
coming on.
Cheers.
21st birthday, huh? How does it feel to finally legally have a beer, especially on the podcast?
A legal beer feels excellent. But that being said, we went to Boston. Boston, Massachusetts supposedly has 500,000 people on the weekend of Halloween. Come visit them. I think that's absolutely crazy. And here, he and I were at the same concert.
Same place. Now I gotta ask, just come in town. How was your guys' experience in Boston? Experience of the show? Tell me about the trip, especially from your side.
Goodness gracious. So we had a few different experiences, all of them good, but we visited a lot of different places. My boyfriend really set up a lot of the brunches,
Let's get him on here.
dinners.
Come on, man.
Honey bunny, I love ya.
I promise. It will be a good time.
Don't resist. It's better if you don't. But nonetheless, we went to this really cool place. It was called, what was the breakfast place? It was like...
Which one?
The first one we went to on my actual birthday with the green turtleneck.
The Friendly Toast or something.
Oh, the
like
Friendly
that.
Toast.
So
Friendly French
did you
toast.
guys stay in the city of Boston, or where were you guys?
Straight up the city of Boston. It was intense. But let
Okay.
me tell you something.
Yeah.
There is no parking in Boston.
No, there isn't.
There is no parking in Boston by any means,
Yeah.
shape, or form. There's no parking. We messaged the Airbnb guy, and he's like, "Oh well, if you told me you were bringing a car, I would have told you not to bring a car." What?
Now, what's your guys' advice? Okay, I am super weird about this. I don't know. It's just where I lay my head when I go to sleep. I'm a hotel guy. What's the advantage of staying at an Airbnb compared to just at least your guys' experience, especially in Boston, where it's like a city where you're away from home?
Recently, it's just been usually just the cheaper option or whatever, and it's usually in a similar type location where a hotel is kind of right up in the city or whatever. Or it could be a very where the hotel is based on where you want to go.
Yeah.
And it's usually just a cheaper option, especially for short term stays. It's just pretty cool and usually works out pretty smooth.
That's cool. And now, other than the show, what was your favorite part about visiting Boston?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to say the show.
Really?
When
Okay.
we talk about a show, I'm looking for a good venue. I'm looking for a good crowd.
Okay.
And that is something that I feel like we really achieved when it came to Andy Frasco and the UN and Pigeons playing ping pong. Andy Frasco and the UN, how do I describe them?
How do you describe Andy from your perspective?
So here I was, celebrating my 21st birthday in costume.
We all love each other. Everybody come in.
Everybody,
All right.
let's go down in, man.
So Andy Frasco and the UN, they really started out with just an absolute powerhouse. If I were to describe them, they are a powerhouse.
Okay.
Most definitely.
I made this joke when I came in and I saw Frank and they're like, "Oh, is that Caitlin?" And I go, "There's energy, and then there's Andy Frasco and the UN."
Yes.
They did this whole skit, it was Halloween. Of course, Frankie mentioned they had the pillow fight on top of the
Yeah.
air mattresses, but nonetheless, further from that, they all switched instruments. Every single one of them switched instruments on stage, and here I am just yeah!
How was that? How was that scene the compare and contrast from like, okay, a serious, not saying Andy Frasco is not serious, but okay, you look at a band like Pigeons that like is all about the group, all about the performance, note for note. I mean, Pigeons puts on a fucking hell of a performance, but you look at Andy Frasco, a guy who's up there talking about like blowing down ketamine and like fucking throwing his fucking chair at the fucking piano and like being the most jackass version of himself.
Oh yeah.
How is that feeling seeing the show like that compared to like what you usually see?
It was definitely entertaining to say the least. It was very interesting. I thought it was funny. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
really entertaining to watch, and it was just pretty cool.
It's
That's
a craving,
awesome.
dude. I am absolutely craving to see that man in action again. That's what he is. He's complete action. He will take
Hell
a scene
fucking
and just
yeah.
like destroy it absolutely across the board.
Awesome.
Really and truly, I think my favorite part out of the whole night, which that being said, Rage Against the Machine has announced a tour.
yes. I know
Oh my
what you're
God.
talking about. Yeah.
Oh my god, but they played Killing in the Name Of, and the entire crowd could not help but just get down to that in one way or another.
Oh yeah. Everybody was screaming some Rage lyrics that night for sure.
One raging ass song. Like I've
is.
boxed to that song. That gets you going when
it's
you have no
powerful.
energy left.
When you have
You're
like crowd of, especially like out of the 3 nights that Pigeons was on tour, House of Blues was at least the biggest venue size, and like hearing a whole crowd of 2,500 people screaming "fuck you, I won't do what you tell me," it was pretty fucking powerful. Especially when literally the day after, no one expected it that Rage was announcing 8 dates to perform live. Which I want to say the most un-rock and roll thing is to play Coachella, but whatever. Rage Against the Machine. It's like, what the
Here's
fuck,
my
dude?
2 cents on that. The Rage has to play Coachella to get everybody who's into pop music on that vocalist. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I see
like,
what
you
you're
know,
saying, Frost.
you gotta
Yeah.
spread out.
Turn up the intensity.
Turn up the
Just a little
like
bit.
Rage Against the
little
Machine.
bit.
Like who else is gonna be that conscious at Coachella, man? You gotta learn. You gotta
100%.
learn
100%.
real music.
You have a good point, Doug, 'cause let's be honest here. Everyone who's listening to pop music is sitting there thinking like, man, fuck the government. Excuse my French.
Yeah,
But
no.
like when you give them that power, you give them that energy to feel like, oh wow, there's a lot of people around me who feel the same way.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? That's something I
It's
really like.
powerful.
That's something I really like about Andy Frasco is like he's so unethical about everything that he does. Like the song "Mature as Fuck." Like that song really describes his set, or just like some of the shit he does. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I'm a big fan of the walk by him. I wouldn't
Oh my God! Yes.
It's-
Walk a little taller, man.
walk a little bit taller, man.
That's all you can do at the end of the day.
And I just want to say, I like after seeing those Halloween sets, which are fucking crazy. Like the fact that he's coming to Glens Falls on Saturday is like,
Yeah, dude.
I can't wait. Especially with Wild Adriatic.
It's gonna be it's a killer lineup. We're
It's a
gonna be
very
raging for
fucking
hours
very
upon
killer lineup.
hours. Work Sunday is not gonna be fun, but
No.
you know it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be so worth
For a
it.
Frasco show, absolutely. Especially when Andy and the Water and Wild Adriatic are playing the same night in the same building. Come on.
I love
Talk about a
how-
stank face. Jesus Christ.
I love how Wild Adriatic has expanded themselves. I remember being in high school and there was this girl and she had like a some type of birthday party. I don't remember what kind, but Wild Adriatic was playing for them.
Okay.
So to think now at this point in time they're hosting a summit.
Yeah, and not only is the summit, it's a 3rd summit too, which is
What?
really cool. Yeah, it's a 3rd annual summit, and it's right before this band, before they go on tour. They're going on a Europe tour for like 28 dates.
A
Like,
Europe tour?
Mateo was supposed to be on the show with us tonight. Mateo, you're lame. It's Wednesday.
But you're awesome though at the same
You're
time.
awesome too, man. Let's see those music videos we shot, man. But yeah, I'm so excited to see Andy Frasco. Hopefully, we'll be interviewing him, which will be really cool. I got to have dinner with those guys and Pigeons that night at the House of Blues, and that was really cool. Super awkward on my side because it's like what the fuck do I say to these guys? Like, I'm eating your food. That's it. What do you want me to say?
Big boy and out.
It's delicious. Like, come on. You know, like, whatever, though. You know, it's a party with them, so... It was a cool fucking time, man. And I am really happy that you guys got to experience the House of Blues show, because it was just like, I don't know, from the just a working side of everything, it was the most packed show I've ever worked in my life. And
No
it
way.
Absolutely, yeah. I was in the pit the whole time. So like being in usually like when you're shooting concerts, especially like photos for covering a show, you're in the pit for maybe 15 minutes, 3 songs. So being in there the whole time was awesome. I really don't want. I honestly don't care about sharing the story. But the second night, the PlayStation Theater, I legally had a couple gummies, you know, before I went and shot, and I was like, after the first set of pitches, I was like. The music needs to continue because like my brain's like and everything just cuts. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna crawl up in the ball in the middle of the pit between the stage and the venue. All right, whatever. Which you know, whatever. So, but yeah, other than that, yeah, just Andy Frasco for life. That's all we really gotta say.
Yeah, I think I'm at this point a lifetime follower of Andy fucking Frasco, dude. And the UN. Don't forget and the UN,
Because
dude.
the whole thing is amazing. Check out Change of Pace on Spotify, Apple Music. It's a brand new album. Andy Frasco and the UN.
As much as a wild motherfucker as that guy is, the guy really sings about some true shit. Like,
Really
we've
does.
lost some important individuals in the jam band scene, including Jeff Austin, and just people from fucking mental health, man. Like, it's really sad.
Mental health
And like,
is a big
when
thing,
you have
man.
somebody that fucking wild bringing up these issues, you better fucking listen.
I
So
think
listen
he's
to Andy
gonna go so
Frasco.
big.
And I don't know if you guys know about this, but Andy Frasco has one of the best podcasts ever.
Andy Frasco and the World Saving
Podcast. It's on Spotify and iTunes and all
I
streaming
think he's
services.
on episode 63. I want to say he just had. Don't quote me on this.
Something Clark, right? Or like
I want to say like dead grass or bluegrass or something with grass.
Green Sky?
Green Sky, bluegrass.
Green Sky was on recently.
Yes.
But those guys are awesome too. And but
Amazing.
go check it. Honestly, it's one of my favorite. Like we're huge Joe Rogan podcast fans. Andy Frasco is just as entertaining on podcast as he is in the show. It's really good. Like,
Interesting
Are
to
you-
check out. Yeah.
check it out. If you're trying to, you know, get distracted at work, turn it on, man.
That's what I do.
Or if you're out of too many episodes that you've watched on the Kind of Live, Kind of Live podcast, Alternative is awesome for
Andy
Andy
Frasco.
Frasco. Yeah.
Honestly, all I can say, if there is a podcast as interesting as Andy Frasco in person, I'm about to get my socks blown off. That's all I can say.
Hell yes. Well, Caitlin, and I just want to say, both of you guys, thank you for coming on the podcast. It's the most guests we've had on like in one night. Like, and we still have what, 2 people left?
2 more people.
How's that
Wait.
picture coming?
We have one more person, and the picture's right next to you. Unless, well, let me go out and grab the next guest, because we might have 2 more guests or 1 more guest.
Let's bring them both on. Let's bring your family on, dog.
Yeah, dude.
Caitlin,
That's
thank
not
you,
what I was
thank you
talking
guys so much for fucking coming on.
Yeah,
Frankie,
Thank
dude,
you.
it's been
And
a
thank you
pleasure.
for rocking out the Andy Frasco. Honestly, anytime you guys can
always try.
share the same shit that we like and your interests, awesome. And if you can make it, head to the summit. Don't fucking miss it. It's gonna be a good time. Especially if Andy Frasco's in town. Call up. You're set. You ain't going nowhere.
Oh my
Andy
gosh,
Frasco.
please.
Thank you.
Hey, we're Frankie. Take care.
Hell yeah. It's just me again. I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out here. But it's, yeah, Kind of Live podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in every single fucking week. And we got the most important person of the night coming on right now. We got Kathy fucking Steele. What's up, Kathy? How you doing?
My Katie, who's right over there. Katie! I have to let you know, you have the best dimples.
Stop it.
No, they were talking about this over when I went to go grab the
The
picture.
best dimples, Frankie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude,
No,
they're
I
in
gotta
there.
ask you, what's your honest opinion on Doug?
What's my own honest opinion? Well, you know, he kind of grows on you. After a while,
I'm an
you
acquired
know,
taste.
you know,
Like Blue Moon,
yeah.
huh?
You don't, you know, he's kind of like you're like, ooh, who's this guy? And then after a while, you know, he's crawling around the house. You're changing his diaper, and
You know, I guess I'm
then-
sticking
then,
around.
You're like, okay, I guess I gotta keep him. What can you do?
What can you
There's
do?
not much you can do.
You know.
Now, I gotta ask, what's it like been seeing your son and just doing video stuff and doing things that he likes to do?
Well, it's like I told him like maybe 15 minutes ago. I'm proud of you. And you know what? I'm proud of you too. I'm so proud of both of you guys. You guys work so hard. You put so
This
much
kid's my
time
ride or
and
die,
effort.
so.
Until the end.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing is just phenomenally just wonderful, and you guys can go places just with the dedication that, and you both have such phenomenal work ethic. And it is so good to see that you guys are working so hard to achieve something, a goal.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that, like, kids nowadays, you know, young people coming up, you know, they need goals. And you guys, you mutually came together. You were like, okay, this is what we want to do. And you guys work so hard. So hard. Seriously. Seriously.
Thank you.
Dude, dimples and all. Seriously. You guys work so hard for this. And you sacrifice so much of your time, your spare time, to put more into this. And I am just, dudes, props.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you,
Props
Mom.
up to you guys.
Now,
Props up.
before we get into, at least, because you pretty much almost have like a front row seat to the entire village. When
Oh
it comes
gosh,
to
yes
music.
I do.
But before we
Yes,
get
I
into
do.
that, I want to talk about, because you really sat down and was able to see the whole process throughout us getting at least the skate
Yes.
part.
Oh yes.
So
You were there for the long run, Kathy.
You really
gosh,
were, because I mean, you
yes.
were there at times where it's like, I would go skate in the village and get busted by peace cops and get my
how
board
many
taken
times-
away, and you would
when
have
I had
to come.
go, like, you remember the sadistic, the peace officer who was just like thinking he was like Rambo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
he
know
was
if you
like,
experienced
Was
him
this-
as much as I did. I want to say it was the one really old dude.
Wolf?
No, no.
Maybe not
Officer
Wolf.
Wolf?
Maybe
Short
not
hair?
Officer Wolf.
Oh.
No. I mean, he had
Oh. He was a
gray
nice
hair.
guy.
He had gray. No, this guy wasn't a nice guy.
No, and Dougie comes home and he's like, Mom, can you come with me? You got to get my skateboard, but he's got it locked up. And I'm just like,
I think that was
yeah.
one of the only times I actually
that was the
came
first,
to you.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever had to deal with a guy.
I'm
So we're
I'm
just
gonna
patching
take
it.
this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Don't,
take this.
yeah,
I'm
don't,
gonna pour my own beer. I'm
Don't
sorry.
spill it on anything.
This is my pour. It's not that good. Little Vic. Whatever.
I
gotta-
poured a little bit
you
on
got-
myself.
You got to angle the glass a little bit more.
Doug taught me a good pour. I should listen to him.
You shouldn't listen to me, but I just poured a little bit on myself, so I'm not doing the best either. It happens.
Okay.
You know, no one's perfect all the time, as I would like to say.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so you have a very I would say strategic.
I have the
spot.
perfect home.
You do. You really do.
It's at just the right elevation, just the right distance away from the blocks away from the village to where I get the audio just like flows.
Yes.
And it is perfect. So anything that is happening, like John Eisenhart,
John
or
Eisenhart.
whoever is playing on the deck at Duffy's, I can be sitting in my yard. I can be sitting in my living room with my windows open, and it's like they are right 5 feet outside my house. If there is like any music fest that's going on at Shepherd's Park, Jazz Fest, any music fest, whatever, they are right there in my yard.
Yeah.
Because the sound waves travel. I
lake.
have just the perfect thing, and
Like-
it's so. I mean, I can
Yeah.
Go down to
get
the
down
village.
to the go get dressed, get out of my jams, and go down to the village on a day off and enjoy it. Or I can sit there in my living room or in my yard and listen to it, and it's just like perfect.
And now
It's
from a
absolutely the perfect
photographer's
sound.
aspect, I gotta say some of the most recent, like at least nighttime photos that I've shot, were from your yard that I've really enjoyed. And I got to experience with some. If you're a photographer, you may know it's long exposure method. We captured a picture of Doug in his chair, and then us laid down on the
chairs.
ground, just with you. Where like did you come up with the idea to jazz up your lawn?
No, because I honestly
want
want
to
to say,
photo shoot.
Oh, you can
really
see me.
could,
The
yeah.
plane's
Like,
going over. They can see
it-
my yard.
especially in the summer, whether it's in the daytime or nighttime, I would really honestly say in the daytime you have like almost a fairy tale like yard. Because the way of all of the plants grow up and everything, like they're just literally everywhere, and you kind of have to like get your way through them. And then at night you have a whole bunch of solar lights, which
I love solar lights.
and I love too, because I mean they just sit there, take the sun's energy all day, and then just project light
and
all
they're-
night long.
Yeah, it's
Can't beat that.
Yeah,
Can't
once the
beat
sun
that.
goes down, it is so magical. And when I have a night off, a day off, and so I can stay up a little bit later, and I'll go outside and I'll be like, yes, it's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous.
so relating to
it's like
that-
there's like, I ran into the solar lights. It started out as just the solar lights, like pathway lights.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, let me go on Amazon and look at what else they have. And I was like, oh my God. So now I'm like an Amazon solar light junkie. And yeah, I spend a lot of money, but I'll even buy like the solar light rechargeable batteries. To keep my favorite ones going longer. And I have them on the bushes, on the trees, on the pathways. I have them wrapped around a lilac bush. I have them like anywhere I can put solar lights.
So
it
I got a
is.
question. When you're buying solar lights, is it buying per what you think the concept would be, or so do you actually? Okay, simplified question. Do you have an idea prior to going into what you're buying?
Yes, I have an idea. Of like, it would be so cool if I had this type of light here. And so I'll like go in and I'll like search and search and search and search, and I'll be like, yes, perfect. And I'll buy like 3.
Now,
Because you can never just have one. But what's really cool is like in the case of when you lose if there's a power outage at night, I can just go outside and get a solar light and bring it in, and I have light in my house, and I can have one in the bathroom, one in the kitchen, in the bedroom, in the living room, and I don't have to worry about it. And if those go out, I can go outside and get more. And I've actually gone, the neighbor who lives above you, who is blind, and his mother is like in her 90s. We lost power 2 summers ago.
when we're at the apartment, we
When you
actually
guys were at
use
the apartment.
these lights
Oh my God!
in our
that's
apartment.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So the lights that we're using here on the Kind of Life, Kind of Living podcast, these are also battery powered. We did not have any
are really
power
bright.
usage.
It
was
these
great.
light up a room.
Right.
They literally do.
It's convenient to
Totally
have
do.
that. And so I actually gathered different lights that I had, and I went and I knocked on the door, and I'm like, here, use these, and so they're also convenient.
Very
For power outages, if you have solar lights in your yard, you can actually use them for power outages. So there's multi-purposes.
And now, coming off of solar lights, I would like to talk about one of our first news topics of the night.
Oh, okay.
Is that in solar battery and solar power innovation, the biggest drawback has been battery life, because I mean, you can have the panels facing the sun all day, every day, but you have to be able to store that energy somehow, some way. And so that's been the biggest drawback. But a company in Sweden has been able to come up with like a energy protecting like molecule, something along the lines where they can actually store the solar energy and heat for like decades upon end. So
Really?
that solar energy you can use for extended years, and at least for heat wise, compared to like, you know, like regular batteries, or I would say like, you know, those Amish fireplaces that like we get
Yeah.
to like heat up our apartments and space heaters, like that would be like a substitute for that, and it's supposed to be even better than like the regular batteries that we have nowadays.
Oh,
And
don't
they're-
give me another reason to Amazon.
I'm gonna, because they even have
Amazon
like,
is a tricky motherfucker.
yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Amazon's out there and they have
no,
everything.
but that sounds like
But yeah, so, and I really think that this technology is going to be revolutionary in the way of, because, I mean, at least when I was living in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
I felt like the biggest thing that should have been out there was solar energy, but
yeah.
I guess the biggest drawback was that, like, you can't really store the energy for extended periods of time. So say, like, you can amasses a whole amount of energy. You can sell some of it back to the grid, you can use some of it, but there's going to be a portion of it that is just going to get wasted completely away. So like with this technology and this innovation, that will actually, I feel like we're going to be able to really take the steps forward into not using any fossil fuels and really just relying on renewable energy, because I mean, wind energy is already one great resource, but like solar energy, the sun is beating down on us
Down.
every day,
No.
all day, especially in different parts of the world, like where it, because I mean, we have the equator, like the sun is hitting certain places all year round. Some places, like right now, we're going to the winter where we're not going to get as much sun. It's going to get very cold. But like the way that it goes about, like if we have this technology and we store it correctly, we can really make an impact on our, I guess, carbon footprint, and really just revolutionize the next century, really, energy-wise.
No, I think that solar energy is the way to go, because if you have not noticed, but I know you have noticed, that even in the wintertime, when it's not as intense sunlight,
Yeah.
daylight, not sunlight, but daylight,
Yes.
even on cloudy days, at night, my yard is still lit up.
It is.
So my little solar lights, if they can, even on an overcast or a snowy day, still light up at night and just bring the bling, imagine solar panels.
Exactly.
The
And
powerful solar panels, they will still work in dim light, in overcast,
Any light.
or they
Any
will
light.
still.
And
all
for
they
Halloween,
need is some
sort of light source.
light.
And like with Halloween, I remember when I went over to your house like earlier in the day, you had all of your solar lights charging, like on top of you had like a wind fan,
Yeah, under a light bulb.
under a light bulb. You
Yeah,
had them
I
all
was-
charging under a light bulb. Like
Yeah.
you didn't even have to plug these into
And
like some
and
sort of
you're,
out
you're
outlet.
like, oh, that works, and I'm like, well, yeah, it works.
'Cause-
yeah, you can charge solar lights under a 60-watt light bulb.
That's so convenient. Super convenient.
Yeah. So solar power. I mean, there is so much that can be
Potential.
that is potential. Yeah, that can still be learned, and it can grow phenomenally. There is no reason to use the fracking, the coal. There's no reason to
All of
use that
that.
anymore. You put the panels out there. You can. It absorbs so much freaking energy. And my solar lights, they will still be on when I leave for work at 5:45 in the morning. They're still
So
They're still
radiating
going.
that energy.
They're still going.
And you know, especially with I know Tesla, like
and that's
the
just
car company.
that's just a little
that-
like 6-panel little tiny thing.
A little piece. And so Tesla, they've been working on, like the car company, they've been working on like actual roof tiles that are
Oh,
solar
that would be
powered.
awesome.
So like say like you had like I've seen like pictures of these things where like they do look just like solar panels, but like it's all like roof panels that are just all on your roof, but they're all solar energy. They're very
but would
durable.
power the car.
will power your car,
Oh
will
my
power your
gosh.
house, will power just about anything. Especially
That
with
is
this
a great
new
technology.
battery innovation, like no
Yeah.
matter what, you're gonna have energy throughout thick and thin.
So I just want to take just a quick second.
Okay.
On my computer, I haven't seen the whole chat, but we fucking had
It's
a
blowing up.
pretty chatty fucking night. Thank you for tuning in. It does not make any difference that Dylan McKenzie is not watching live because he's here in town, and we still have the same amount of people watching. That's
Awesome
crazy.
sauce. Thank you, all
So
of you.
Nitesh, I want to thank him because he's bought our gear, and I thank you so much.
You are the man.
You're the man. So he's been popping up Custom V Rocker.
Zero
No
latency. Thank you for coming through for the sixth
Thank you, my
man,
man.
for while he's here.
Yay!
Yeah, Pigeon's playing ping pong every damn time. You know it, man. And then we got David Kogel, the man of
Oh,
the hour,
can't
Iron
forget
Man
about
of
David
any
Kogel.
of the water, awesome photographer. Dude, we cannot wait to see you this weekend at the summit. And
Kevin Stoya also stopping in. Have you seen Echo in the Canyon on Netflix yet? I haven't, but just because you said that, I'll check it out. I hope it's very entertaining. Kevin Stoya, I miss you, homie.
yeah,
Gotta play
man,
some
it looks like
Xbox soon.
one of our cameras are slightly out of focus, which I'm gonna fix right
Oh,
now.
which one?
It's probably
Cam,
this one.
Cam 3. Wait, I thought Cam 3 is bar cam.
Bar
Or
cam.
maybe Cam
Okay,
2.
yeah. So let's just bring up. Okay, we still got the bar cam. We got, as you can see,
I have,
just the
Some
lovely
people
bar
at the bar.
I
watch.
have
At Duffy's
no
Tavern.
idea which camera you're talking about.
We got bar cam if you want to spend. You know, want to
Okay,
check
so
out
is it
everybody.
1, 2,
What's up,
We
guys?
got-
You
we
guys are on camera
multicam.
right now.
How's it going, everybody?
Just kidding, not anymore. There you
What's
are,
going
Cam.
on, Cam
And
2?
here we are. How are you guys doing?
Bing, bada boom.
Yes.
Coming all back around.
Camera 3, David. Thank you so much. I'm gonna fix this. And just one last thing.
What?
What? I don't even know what question. God, what's that good question to ask?
What's a great question to ask? Well, I thought I had one, but I don't want to get into that. So, okay. So, the setting we're at Duffy's Tavern. This establishment, at least I know, has been here ever since I've been alive. So
before
what-
you were alive. Yeah.
Before I was alive.
Uh-huh.
So at least, what was one amazing time that you have had here?
Oh my gosh, gosh. The most memorable. You see the post?
Yeah.
That's Emily's post.
Okay.
And Gary Powers. John Eisenhart, great friend. Gary Powers does the Leprechaun.
Okay.
For
Shamrock
Shamrock.
Bar?
Yes, always has the boiler hat. Wonderful man. The first night I met him, he's like, I'm like, well, don't you have a girlfriend or something here? And he's like, well, I Emily. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, I'm Emily's post. And it's
It's that post right over there?
the Emily's post.
Emily's
yes.
Post.
And that's when the bar was over here,
Oh,
and it was at the corner of the bar.
okay.
And so it wrapped around to where the pool table is.
Yeah.
And yeah, Emily's post.
Emily's post.
Gary
I would have had
Powers
no idea.
he was a protector. He was like, okay, he was like the best guy ever.
And now, okay, that reminds me of at least maybe one more story, because definitely as I was a kid growing up, I want to, and now I feel really bad because I know the man deeply well, because he gave me the Mad TV magazine compilation. I want to say Jack
Berry,
Mr.
Jack, yeah.
Juicer Jack Berry.
Yeah.
Asian Jack Bauer?
Jack Berry.
So, I mean, what was at least like one amazing time for him? Because I mean, I remember at least growing up, he would always be the one where like no matter what, like he would always have like a surprise or a gift for you. Like this dude's trunk was always filled with surprises,
It was
and
Jack's,
it was always amazing.
Jack's Maxi Box. He could
Jack's
pull anything
Magic
out
Box.
of there.
Yes, like this dude had everything, and he seemed like such a genuine soul.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
the
not-
man, the
Oh
man.
gosh, yes.
So maybe do you have like one Jack memory of just like him just completely being himself before we move on?
Which
Oh,
I
gosh.
just want to interrupt. Thank you for whoever put on Say It To Me Santos. This is a funky version of it. And
But you gotta love Fish.
even life itself.
Say it to me. You know what? Okay, Frankie. My dad texted me. You gotta make sure that boy toasts. You gotta make Frankie drink on these toast.
Oh my god.
Like my dad's. Come on, Frankie. You gotta get your shit together.
But I did notice your first toast. You did toast. And I did a little golf
He's
clap.
trying.
I was
I
like,
will give
yes.
you. He's trying.
You did toast the first
He's
time.
aware of the problem, everybody.
Yes.
He's
I was
working
like,
on
yay,
it.
Frankie, golf clap.
I guess you always remember where you were.
I always remember where you were. Okay. Jack Barry, because I definitely feel like he's played,
A huge role
yes.
in your mom's life, and he got you your first. He gave you Ken dolls, and he got you your first Ken's friend.
You know, those were-
friend. Ken doll.
And I'm not even gonna lie, I barely remember this, but that was definitely like a big portion in my life.
It
Like
was
a
like
big
you
moment.
were like 5.
Big moment. Because
that's
like,
really
you,
young.
like, I mean, as a kid, you really want to just do whatever you want to do. And me growing up with 5 sisters, I didn't really have.
Yeah, okay, okay.
super-
So, okay.
And so,
From
but
an
the
only
thing
child's
is-
perspective,
But the thing
what
is,
was it like growing up?
Bruh, you were only child. Damn.
I'm an only child, bro.
Damn.
It wasn't like I had
but
5
the thing
sisters.
was, is
Yeah.
Jack gave Katie a pink Barbie Volkswagen remote control that you could put the Barbies in. And so Dougie took it over and he put his Ken dolls in there and would drive the little remote control Volkswagen all over the kitchen and living room and whatever. He took it over. He would just take dolls out, Ken dolls in.
Gotta make them cool. Yeah, I remember I used to always used to have a lot of like WWE, WWF figurines.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Yes, definitely.
And like,
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I definitely feel like that played a big role in my life because, I mean, growing up, I didn't really have a standard of, you know, like boy and girl. Like I just grew up with 5 sisters and no,
And thankfully-
besides my dad,
and
I had
thankful-
no male
and thankfully,
influence.
Katie had Matchbox cars, and oh my
Matchbox
God,
cars. There was many duos. And you
Hot
know what?
Wheels.
And you know what? I will tell you what. The
they
first
knew
time
exactly.
I ever
Each
thought
had
I
like
almost
100
got.
of them. But they knew whose was whose.
Yes, and much wrestling. And you know what? Like one of the very first times I ever heard of candle making, and what made me terrified of candle making was like you just had your whole kitchen redone. And like Katie came home and she was making like homemade candles, and I'm pretty sure she got the idea from school, but she had a battle axe, and what she would do is she would like fill up. So did you ever drink milk at school? Like you had the very small
I
milk
tried
cartons.
to drink
Yeah, the little
There's a milk cartons. It was like this tall, this wide.
I tried to drink
did
It
this?
wasn't great. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. Don't you worry. Let me get to it. So I want to say at some point in school they were like we all learned that like okay, you throw a wick at the bottom and then you melt wax and you throw it in there and mix a candle.
Right.
And so how do you get the like outside layers off? You cut them off. What Katie did, battle axe.
Catherine!
I swear to God, because you know, I always thought my sister was really cool. She had a
You
lot
should bring
of
her over. She's got a
crazy
face to
weapons.
make.
Come on.
Come
Get
on,
over
come on,
here.
Come here.
Come here.
Come here.
Catherine!
Because, okay, no, let me tell you, besides this, She bought the coolest weapon I've ever seen in my life. She brought me to like the village, and she bought. I think this is right after like the Batman Begins or the Batman Rises and whatnot. She bought like a Batman sword, and it was the dumbest thing ever. But so she had like a battle axe, and this thing was gnarly dope. Like it should have been hanging on a wall somewhere, but at the same moment, it was like covered in like little metal spikes, and it was just like on our kitchen floor. So me, one day, just comes up into the living room, into the kitchen, and just like steps on a battle axe that has just spikes peering out of it. And that was one of the most painful memories of my life. And I just remember just seeing milk cartons like on the counter. I was just like filled with wax, like ah, like that was not supposed to happen. But like,
Doesn't she still have that?
Oh, she does. She does. She does. It's really radical.
It's the wooden one.
It's the wooden one. Susie. It has a name. It's called Susie.
Susie Greenberg?
Susie Greenberg. Yo. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a deadly one. That's a painful one. It's a painful one.
It'll test you. It'll test you.
Yeah,
what do you got?
It's still in the house somewhere, lurking.
Don't come into our house.
It's just waiting.
So right before we leave and go
Anyways.
to the next guest, I want to bring up one news topic because this is something you brought up to me at least a few times this week.
Oh, dear.
Is that a week from now on Wednesday?
Next Wednesday,
The tobacco
the 13th
age.
of November.
13th, November 13th. If you are in New York, the next time you're going to try to buy tobacco, you have to be 21 years of age.
Yes.
It's no longer 18. It's going to be 21 years
So
of
if
age.
you are 19, if you are 20,
Get your
cannot
tobacco
you
products
go on
now. If you have a limited time, you got a week.
make a friend or whatever. But if you could buy them yesterday, if you can buy, you can buy them Tuesday the 12th. But as of
Wednesday
morning,
you gotta be
can't
21.
buy 'em.
Gotta be 21.
and I don't agree
So-
with it at all. I think it's bullshit.
It's okay. This is
bullshit.
on internet. This is some bullshit.
It's a free country.
I
You have
think
a right to say what you want, Kathy.
You
So-
can
Kathy
get
with a
married.
C.
You can get married. You can go to war.
Go to war.
You can vote,
You can fucking.
You can do so many things. You're an
but you
adult.
can't buy a pack of cigarettes.
No six for you.
No cigarettes.
If you're
no
over 18.
beer.
So if you're 18,
Or
19,
21.
or 20,
Big middle finger to you because you gotta be 21.
can't do it.
Pull
Can't
right
do
from
it.
underneath you. So
Not
stock
right.
up now. Get them
Yep.
paychecks. Get those advance checks.
Or make a
Stock
really
up.
good friend who will buy them for
I
you.
gotta say, you know what makes
it's
it hard,
ridiculous.
a hard show?
What?
Is when fish is grooving in the background and all you want to do is groove to the fucking pea fish.
When you get
You got a
the
job to
rhythm,
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
this that well. But
All right.
okay.
We're off topic.
So yeah, I think honestly, in my opinion, I don't think age changes your thought process on what you want
It
to do
doesn't.
in life.
Right.
If anything, it makes you want to rebel.
And that's the thing, like, especially, I mean, I can't speak from a teenage standpoint now, but as a teenager,
Well,
if you're told you can't do something, that kind of makes you want to do it that much
That-
more.
it
You're
does,
gonna,
it does.
and as terrible as it sounds, as a teenager, you're gonna figure out a way to do whatever you want to do.
Well-
And I just feel like if you are able to go fight for your country, die for your country, if you're able to do all of these things at 18, you should be able to make your own decisions about whether you're able to drink or smoke nicotine products. Because I mean, I feel like at this point in time, you have all of the knowledge and facts about how dangerous these products are. So it's really your own personal preference. You know
Well,
what I'm
and-
saying?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that, like, say you were 19. You're 19. You're an adult. You're working. You're paying taxes. You're paying your bills. And you smoke.
Yeah.
Now, you can't do that for 2 years. You can't
That
go.
seems
You
messed
can't.
up.
You can't do it.
Especially if that's something you've been
They're
doing
saying, no,
for at
you're
least the
19.
last
Nope,
year legally. Because, like, kicking my
And that's why I think it's ridiculous.
And so, and like, that's
To
one
say
thing
that.
I would like to say with, I mean, at least like the whole alcoholic prohibition with alcohol. It's just like, when that was a thing,
It was the same thing when they changed the drinking age.
exactly, like, people are going to want
you
to
had
do
the
what they
people in the
want to
middle.
do. They're going to figure out a way. There's going to be people who are going to figure out how to make this
Yeah.
product and distribute this product to the people who want this product, and we're not going to stop until they find this product and say, like, okay, prohibition, it ended. The drinking age was 18 for
Yeah.
so long. I know, at least for my
Yeah.
dad, who's a
Prohibition
very
didn't-
old.
Prohibition didn't stop
He's
drinking.
getting there. Prohibition, 18. I feel like
Yeah.
it was probably at least within the last 20, 30 years where it changed to 21,
Mm-hmm.
where, like, at the same moment, like, there are still I would guarantee at least most high school kids are still gonna party, be able to find alcohol, be able to find nicotine, and get
Yeah.
into all these things, because if they really want to do something, and like, this is coming from you, I mean, I feel like I had really great parents, but like, whatever you told me to do something or not to do something, if I really wanted to do something,
You're
I was
gonna
probably
find a
gonna
way.
go do it,
You're gonna
whether I
find a
got
way.
into trouble or not.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, like, but like, having that good influence from you guys,
Yeah.
and like, really letting me know, like, okay, like, this is the perils of the thing you're trying to get into, and like, this is the actual consequences that could bring.
Yeah.
Like, it really made myself like reconsider, like, okay, how am I presenting myself online? Like, do I really want this to continue going? Like, how, like, especially like, you know, my dad getting cancer and whatnot, like,
Yeah.
okay, like, that really made me think about, okay, tobacco and nicotine use, like, do I continue using these things? Like, I see,
It's now your
They-
choice, and you're like looking at the pros
like,
and the
you know,
cons, and
because
making
like, and that's the
independent
thing, is
decision.
like, everybody's just like, go for it. Everyone's just like, you know, it can't happen to me, you're special, but like, really, at the end of the day, we're all people, anything can happen to us.
Right.
So it's like, you should be in control of your own decisions and what you want to do.
Right.
And okay,
You can't give an adult allow an adult to make a choice and then decide that, okay, guess what? You made that choice for 2 years. You know what? Now you can't make that choice anymore. Now you're gonna have to wait another 2 years to be able to make that choice.
it ain't right.
It's
fucked up.
there are other ways.
Grandfather closet
There
up.
are other ways to
Education.
education and
Education
whatever.
is the biggest
but
thing.
by
Education is the biggest thing.
It really is. But okay, thank you, Mother, for
Yeah,
being
thank you,
on.
Kathy. And
By the way-
just some quick things.
what
What you've been listening to?
what I've been listening to. David Bowie.
What's your
Oh.
favorite David Bowie album?
The David Bowie album that I have. What one do I have? Because I got it for you. I gave it to you, and then I was like, "Can I have the Bowie?"
I thought it was the Queen.
No, not the Queen. No, the David Bowie. The Rocket Man.
I'm a gazer.
No, when I think of David Bowie, I think of Ziggy Stardust. But no, I never
Ziggy.
feel like you
It
got
was-
me the album Queen, A Night at the Opera, and then you took
that
it back.
also. Yes.
You took it back, but then
That
I was
I
able to
did
get my
do.
own copy.
Yes, I did. I did
Yeah,
take the Queen
shout
back.
out.
I did do that.
Space Oddity?
Space Oddity. Yes.
Yes.
Dude, and you know what? I showed her the Fish a cappella version of that because
Yes.
it still gives me goosebumps when I
Yes.
listen to
When
it.
you saw it?
Live Vegas,
Vegas
2016 Indian Grand Fish.
We got some fish playing on the speakers tonight. We got some sand
Yeah.
playing.
Okay,
Let's keep
but
it
you know
going.
what have you been listening to this
I honestly
week?
have been listening to a lot of Fish and Pigeons playing ping pong. Fish because, oh man, I'm doing the whole tour, the fall tour. I'm gonna hit Providence, Rhode Island. We're gonna head to Nassau Coliseum. Jake and I are then heading to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and
Damn,
before
really?
heading to South Carolina for 3 nights of Fish. So we're doing 7 days, and then before
That's
New
a
Year's
lot.
at Fish. So overall, probably doing like 11 Fish shows in like a month.
Are you traveling by car?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Toilet paper.
Oh, TP for the bung hole.
Oh no, because if you have it, you won't need it. But if you don't have it, you're gonna wish you did.
No, you need to bring TP in. You know what? As much as I didn't think TP in the car was very crucial, remember that one time I got super sick up in Plattsburgh? When my dad came to pick me up?
Yeah.
TP in the car, very crucial.
Frankie,
Toilet
life
paper.
advice. Yes.
Toilet paper.
Throw it in the back seat, throw it in the trunk, but have it in the car. You never
Most
know.
definitely.
All
And
right.
so, wait, I want
go
to touch
now?
on one thing before we bring on this last guest. It's Artie Barber's birthday today.
Artie.
No, really?
Artie Barber. And so I'd like to just share with like one story where, I mean, I definitely came out of my comfort zone to do something with him, but it was a really good time. And you might not approve of this as much, but you know what? I'm past all of this, so it's cool. So it was like one day in high school, me and Artie shared a art class. Me and him were literally like out of like a class of, I want to say like 12, 13 people. We were the only boys in this class. And so like it was second period and he was like, hey, do you want to like ditch school and come fishing with me? And I was like, yeah. Like anything is better than, learning, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I ended up ditching school with Artie Barber. That was the first time I ever went to his house, and then we went over to Dumlin's Bay. We're standing out on the docks. It was like my first time really actual fishing. I don't think I actually caught anything, but it was, it was like it was different than just like sitting in school or just sitting and doing something. It's like you're just sitting there upon nature, just trying to be a part of it. And like he really taught me a little bit of that, and I just really would like to say thank you to Artie Barber and his family. Like Artie was an amazing person. It was somebody who I would love to see every time I ever got to see him, whether it was at work or outside of work, just having a good time. Artie was just a genuine soul and a pleasure to be on this earth. I don't know if you have like any.
I have some non-appropriate stories to tell about Artie, but I just want to say Artie was the nicest kid in the whole fucking world, and if you were in his presence, you would know it, because
Most
that guy cared about every single thing going on at that point in time, and I miss him, man. And just
Very
with
true.
that, we have died with our last camera, which means
Which camera?
we're dying over here, man.
Oh, dude, there's no camera over on camera 3. Okay, so.
Oh, this is it, man.
Okay, so we're dying
Okay.
now. So we
You
were
need to
gonna
get
have
your next guy.
one more guest. Should we try to save him for another podcast or?
I would say let's save it for another podcast. We just want to thank Jameson Duffy.
Jameson
the
Duffy.
most. Thank
he
you
was
so
the man
much.
to put this together.
Absolutely.
And we couldn't have you on, but you're out there doing your freaking thing, and we're gonna have you on a very soon podcast to talk about just your whole story, because I feel like you have a wild one, my dude.
Yeah,
You do.
And with that being said, I mean, just check out our website, mirth-films.com, for all of the latest concert, live
is
music
this one?
coverage, podcasts, original video content, alternative news, and much more. We got merch, which Kathy's repping the.
Yes, the burgundy.
Dude, look at
Love
all
it.
of the shirts you can buy. We
And
have
hats.
multiple shirts. We got different hats.
Don't forget it.
Check out our merch, mirth-films.com. If you're a fan of the podcast, if you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, please give us a review. Help us out. If you're watching us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe.
You fucking know
all
it.
of that. And you know what? We're going to end tonight's podcast with something that Frankie Gavone actually put together.
Something myself and Richard Jelly of Lake George, New York produced.
DJ Jelly.
It is a mix of is a mashup of Dead Meadow and Jay-Z. We hope you enjoy it. It's That Old Temple plus the December 4th remix.
That it is.
Check it out. And right now we got playing on the PA speakers, Twiddle, which fucking A. Go check out.
Go check them out. And then we really hope you guys have a wonderful night. This has been Kinda Live.
We've been kind of live. Time to live it. Podcast episode 31. Thank you so much for tuning in. We start our podcast on Tuesday nights next week, so make sure to tune in next Tuesday because we got a lot of fucking shit in store for you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be a multicam, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you so much, guys. And
now listen to That Old Tempo crossed with December 4th by Jay-Z by our own man, Frankie Gavone.
Thank you, guys.
Have a
Catch you
wonderful
later.
night.
Gone. So on that note, I'm leaving after the song. So you ain't gotta feel no way about Jay so long. But at least let me tell you why I'm this way. Hold on. I was conceived by Gloria Carter and Agnes Reeves, who made love under the sycamore tree, which makes me a more sicker MC. And my mama would claim at 10 pounds when I was born, I didn't give her no pain. Although through the years I gave her fair share. I gave her first real scare. I made it for birth when I got here. She knows my purpose wasn't purpose. I ain't perfect, I care, but I felt worthless cause my shirts wasn't matching my gear. Now I'm just scratching the surface cause what's buried under there was a kid torn apart once his pop disappeared. I went to school, got good grades, could behave when I wanted, but I had demons deep inside that were raised when confronted. Hold on.
Sean was a very shy child growing up. He was into sports, and a funny story is at 4 he taught himself how to ride a bike. A two-wheel at that. Isn't that special? But I noticed a change in him when me and my husband broke up.
Now all the teachers couldn't reach me and my mama couldn't beat me hard enough to match the pain of my pop not seeing me. So with that just staying in my membrane, got on my pimp games, fuck the world, my defense came. Then the Haven introduced me to the game, Spanish Jose introduced me to Kane. I'm a hustler now. My gear is in and I'm in the in crowd. And all the wavy light-skinned girls is loving me now. My self-esteem went through the roof, man, I got my swag. Got a Volvo from this girl when the man got back. Plus I hit my mama with cash from a show that I had. Supposedly knowing nobody paid jazz whack. Second to me moving is crack. Give me a second, I swear. I would say about my rap career. To 96 came, niggas, I'm here. Goodbye.
Sean used to be in the kitchen, beating on the table and rapping.
Goodbye to the game, all the spoils, the adrenaline rush. Your blood boils, you in a spot knowing cops can rush. And you in the drop, you so easy to touch. No 2 days are alike, except the first and 15 pretty much. And trust is a word you seldom hear from us. Hustlers, we don't sleep, we rest one eye up. And the drop with the find a man when the well dries up. You learn to work the water, without work you thirst till you die. Yep, and niggas get tired of a product. The little brothers, ring fingers get cut up to show mothers they really got them. And this is the stress I live with till I decided. Try this rap shit for a living. I pray I'm forgiven for every bad decision I made, every sister I played. Cause I'm still paranoid to this day, and it's nobody's fault. I made the decisions I made. This is the life I chose, or rather the life that chose me. If you can't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. Maybe you love me when I fade to black. If you can't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. Maybe you love me when I fade to black. Now if you can't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. Maybe you love me when I fade to black.